What's up, world? It's Justin here, and last week I wrote a short story and published it, and the week before that I did the same thing, and this week I'm going to, and I'm probably going to keep doing that for like the next 9 months. Uh, so let's just slide in the computer here. I'm following my little the training system that I had set up in the last video. It's actually working, and it's not so much, hey, I'm gonna, write this down here is useless. These squares are useless. It's not so much following this where it's like, oh, I'm gonna write 12,000 words, and I'll on the Thursday I'll reach that and I'll hit publish, and then on Monday I'll reach the next one and publish, and then on the Wednesday, no, I'm starting a story on Mondays. I'm writing it Monday through Friday. On Friday, I do some editing at night for everything I didn't write that day. Saturday mornings, I'm finishing editing, doing the cover, description, title, what have you. Boom, hitting publish, and then I just start the next one the next Monday. And thus far, it's going pretty well. I mean, granted, I'm only like 4 weeks starting, 4 weeks into it. In only 2 weeks, this will be week 3 of doing just one story a week. Because, well, let's see. This is when I started. On the 15th of June, I was writing the one story this whole time. Actually, I started way up here. But following the training and like again all over the place, just because I'm doing one story, or not one story, I was doing like a story over the course of like multiple weeks and already started it and just kind of jumped into it. It was after that was published and I go, all right, I need to figure out something. I'm like, you know what, let me just do, again, start a story on Monday. We'll say 2,000 words. On that Tuesday I write 1,900 words for that story. Wednesday 1,800. Thursday 17, Friday 16. It decreased by 100 each week during the week. And then come that next week, I increase all those numbers by 100 words. So I'm increasing my writing per week by 500 words, but I'm only increasing my writing per day by 100 words, which is like 6 minutes of writing, if that. So the point is to the point is to treat writing almost like training, like lifting weights training, because it's easy to write like 2,000 words a day. I've written, like, since I started tracking, I think there's a day in here where there's like 3,200, 3,271. This time is not accurate, but it's just based on whatever. It's easy to write that. It's hard to write that every single day when you're not used to writing that every single day. This last not last week, but the week prior, I didn't write a lot on Thursday, so I had to make it up for on Friday. And I was Friday night, and I'm on the keyboard just jamming away, trying to, one, make up for the previous day, and two, finish the actual story. Because following these Fridays will never be, what's it? This week 1,400 words. Friday won't be 1,400 words for the story. It might be double that, just because I have to hit the goal and then I have to actually finish the story somehow. And that can look like any number of different ways. So that's what we got going on, and it the goal here, right? The end goal, and I had this set to 259 quote unquote training days, basically just days ahead that this will populate, because I want to reach this many words per week, 25,000 words per week, Monday through Friday. Start a story on Monday, 5,000 words, and just 5,000 every day. Like, fuck the decline. Just every day, 5,000 words. Saturday, do the same. Friday night, whatever. Saturday morning, do the same thing. Basically put out a novella every single week. Because what's that going to end up doing for me? Like, I'm going to get so used to just spending 3-4 hours at the keyboard, like writing, not 3 to 4 hours thinking about it and plotting and drinking coffee and staring out the window, but 3-4 hours like actual true clanking on the damn keyboards. You know what I mean? And that can translate to anything. You know, if this pulpy kind of fiction, if nothing pops from this, which, man, I wish I had the count of weeks. That's maybe I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I don't know how many weeks this is, but at the end of this, we'll say 30. We'll say there's 30 weeks. That means 30 short stories will be published that are getting increasingly longer every week under one pen name. In addition to the 6 that are already published, I'm going to have 36 titles under one pen name. Something's going to pop. Like, there's going to be something in there that resonates and gets much more traction than the other ones. And when that happens, what's that? The old rising tide raises all ships or some shit like that. That's going to happen because that happened already. That was a really cool thing that happened. I don't know if they read the free version or they had to have, or they bought one book. But one day in the last week, somebody went and bought every single title that I have published. Every single one. Well, minus one. And I assume that's because they read that one. They bought every single title, and that was the best, quote unquote sales day. Not quote unquote. It was the best sales day that I've had, because somebody went and purchased my entire catalog minus one book, which I assume is the one they already read. That, or 4 people bought one book each, and they all happen to be different books, which is a much more unlikely scenario. But that's what I imagine could happen. If one book, one of these stories just gets, 80-20 type shit, and instead of making, we'll just throw a number, $100 in the first 30 days, it makes $1,000. Everything else is going to increase appropriately to now any future story might make $200 in the first 30 days. Or whatever the case is. And then all these previous titles will just continue to add on and sell and be part of this machine that continues machining. But I got to write this week's story first. And I got to write next week's story. And then the week after that. And then come March of 2027, I'll be jamming out 25,000 words a week. I won't need this anymore because I won't be following this anymore. I will just be consistently writing 5,000 words every single day, hitting publish on those 5,000 words, and moving from there. And like I think I started saying, I don't script this shit. I just kind of freestyle off the dome here. If nothing else happens, nothing else comes of this, if anything, I'm just gonna get really good and used to writing 5,000 words a day, and I'll end up just pivoting and like entrenching myself in some shit that I don't really like, but I know makes money, and I'll figure it out from there. I'll start writing erotica again, or writing romance, and just dial in and make it, figure out all the tropes and what ticks, and wham bam thank you ma'am, I'll be writing one of those novellas every single week. Or I might divide it up and do a whole novelette. Are they novelettes? 50,000 words? I don't know. That. Or pivot into something else. Or I'll start writing newsletters. Or I'll write this. Or I'll write that. Or either way, I'm going to be writing 5,000 words a day regularly and like not thinking shit of it. And that's the goal here. So I'll see you in March.